Okay, we're in the middle of developing this Pshat and Tanya Perek Lamed Vav. So again, what does it say in Tanya? We read yesterday. Again, in a sorry, 1 second. תכלס האילמס וירידוסם אינה בשל אילמס עליונים אויל והם ירידה מאיר פון המזבח. אבל תכלס מה זה תכלס? That's so he brings that Lashon Tanya, and he goes into describing what's the pshat oil v'leim yeridim upon his bow. So we are in page Kuf Yud Beis. Page Kuf Yud Beis, the bottom of the page. It'll start again in okay, no, it'll start again. Shom has the Esa spheres the Biyah. Loi haya kavona b'shel atzilus atzmi. The intent, the kavona elyoino is not b'shel atzilus. Meshkos of Sev Shalbein in Perek Lamed Vav. Like it says in Tanya Perek Lamed Vav, shaloi haya kavona b'shel eilam elyoinim ein eilam atzilus. We can't say that the Lashon Tanya Tachlis Hashtashlis doesn't ein b'shel eilam elyoinim ein eilam atzilus oil v'laim yeridim me'er panav yizbor. So these are the few words, the 6 words. Oil v'laim yeridim me'er panav yizbor. That itself, these 6 words, is going to develop it a lot. Pshat. Number 1, Atzilus upchinas gile elemay ensaf hamatz. Atzilus is not something that didn't exist before. It existed in the state of element ensaf hamatz. Shas sphere that Atzilus eklurim tchila ensaf hamatz. Shomer mal madrega arba gavay arba yesa. The way that sphere is not Atzilus existed in the source and the ensaf hamatzil. The way the state of potential in the essence they're a much higher level, which because of Sev Shalbein, like the marshal and tiny in the Sheikh Lamuna. But it was Ziva Shemesh, Shenimtza called Betzva Shemesh, Shama says. Just like it says in Tiny when they get the Erev Ziva Shemesh. But the way when the Erev Ziva Shemesh that's contained within this body of the sun. Shom says is within the body of the sun. It's much stronger. It's a much higher level. Kamoi Kena. That Zilus. Kamoi Shem Plurim Be'etzah HaMatzah Madayig Gvaya B'Yesem Kamoi Shem Bizgalas Kavel Chutz Latzmus. So the way that the state of the essence spheres, the way they are contained within the source in the matzil, he calls it nabat smusay, stuff of matzil. In came, but male that's shot in the lotion. Again, if shalom shabazah kavan. So you can't say that the kavan, the ultimate purpose lamaila is the creation of elamatilis. Is that the spheres that seal should be created out of the matzil. Because that's that is galus, that revelation, that expression of the spheres that seals from the state they were on the maxil into the way they have become their own being. That's a yerida, that's a descent. So we cannot say that the kavana, the purpose is yerida. The Eibishter wants yerida. What's the point of the yerida? רק, זה דרך אגב, זה סגריים, רק בשביל שיגיעו בהם על יד הממטה מהם. Now, was the Yerida as an intermediary, so the Yerida is lower than them, the lower level in our elements, not in the Matilus. And that's also the meaning of what the Zohar says. Begin the Ishtamaidan that the reason the created the world, so the creations, the Brias should know him, which means lower than Atzilus. Because of a part of Shab and Da'at Sefer Kal. Like I said, that was quoted earlier also. But to say that the purposes in themselves, cannot say that the purpose in themselves they should be in the state of failure. Because again, they repeat the same point, because the spheres existed already before they were revealed. That's the way the essence spheres are gnuzes, they're hidden, they're contained within the source. And never there, they were on a higher level. Okay, there's a different view. We'll see later how we can do it. Okay, so that's point number one. Why Atzilus cannot say that Atzilus is the ultimate purpose, because Atzilus, the only thing that happened in Atzilus is the Yerida, the descent. The Yerida from the state of Essence Agnulis to the state of Essence Agluis. So the only thing that happens is the descent. You can say, hey, this is the purpose. What's the purpose? The descent, the way it's in Elam Atzilus, there's no purpose to it. That's
so,
pshat. What?
But this is the Yerida. In other words, nonetheless, whatever you want to call it, this is the Yerida, and the Yerida is for a purpose. I'm saying he's saying it's not for the
yes, the point is this kvetch is mitzad atzmon. You can't explain that the purpose of the Yerida is mitzad atzmon, themselves, for their own sake. The Elamai, like I said later, he says in Chatzigul, to reach lower, like he'll explain more later. So that's step number one. But in the Lashon oil and Yerida means because the whole creation of that's is only a state of descent. So we cannot say this is the purpose. What's the purpose of the descent when there's no other there was no other there's nothing's achieved. There's no other achievement other than the descent. So we cannot say this is the purpose. That's pshat number one in Tanya. Then there's another way to explaining this this Tanya. Sha'atzilus v'chlal gilui. V'chlal atzilus is the end of gilui, revelation. V'atzilus ain't ever gilui. Mashengen atzilus is like you learned earlier in the Maimorim before. He's going to call it soon. Ain't ever get the atzilus be'etzem. The concept of atzilus means that's it's above the concept of expression. Which means that atzilus itself is shalei be'ech the giluim. But if shaleima shekavonas atzilus be'giluim, ma'achash atzilus moved the meaning of the giluim. Because atzilus be'etzem is separated and removed from the concept of gilui, so you cannot say, it's impossible to say the kavonas atzilus in the gilui. We do say sometimes the kavana should be giluim. We just learned earlier in the Ma'amah 20 that the ultimate purpose is the gilu. He says, "Oh, I understand gilu b'biyah." Again, when we do say that gilu, it means the gilu in biyah, not in atzilus. Atzilus itself is just gilu. In gilu it's impossible that the kavanas atzilus in the gilu itself. V'agila d'atzilus who? What is the meaning of the gila d'atzilus? Sheiyeh shababchis atzalkas atzfiris. That the Ein Sof above atzilus, it's one infinite expression of the Eibishter's infinity. And in atzilus, it's divided into specifics or spheres. So here now he brings in Brings in another point that's discussed by Riches in other places, and considers that the Ischalkus of Atzilus, there are two ways to explain it. Number one, Nei Sha'ar Bilvad, because the oil that reaches Atzilus, the Sha'ar Bilvad, it's only a ray, radiance, an external expression. For Atzilus, B'meile, of the Sof, Shabbat, it seems, and the way it's developed, the way it expresses to it seems some because there is tzimtzum, because there is a gebola, na'or bilvat, that it was possible to be schalkus. That's one way to explain it. Oi, then there's a deeper way. Sha'or be'etzin yesh be'esas spheres. The concept of oir bichlal, expression yesh be'esas spheres. Like we learned in other places, that the idea of oir means expression, to reach out. The difference oir and etzem is, etzem means the way you are to yourself. Oir means expression. Expression itself contains the 10 levels of the spheres. The whole oir, any oir, because the concept of oir is gilui, is expression, yesh b'tzir, b'meila, it has some kind of form, yesh above mido mishkol, because the form itself alken yesh b'esas spheres. Since there are two ways to explain the fact that in Elam Atzilas Gufa, the Elam Atzilus is a state of Ischalkus, either because of the tzimtzum of the kelim, or because the oil itself has the tziyur. If you remember, we learned in, a few places, the Bika in Samach Vav and the Emshach HaChedesh, there are two ways to look, whether the oils, I think it's negated, if the oils themselves have the tziyur, or the tziyur comes from the kelim. Eich she'iyeh. Okay, he goes. This was the Chag. Eich she'iyeh. Aribob Yitzchak is spheres. No matter how you explain it, whether it's the oil itself or it's a result of the kelim, Aribob Yitzchak is spheres. It's still the oil eventually in Adam Atzilus is divided in 10 spheres. But Atzim Tzarenzov are in the beginning spheres. The Mashengen Atzim Tzarenzov, the Etzim, in the beginning spheres. It's not not just doesn't have spheres. Not together. We say in Pasach Eliyot, the lav mikol inlin midas your cloud. Is bechal not shy. The gather of spheres, the gather of divisions, not shy. L'chein ha'or ba'emes b'ches ayin l'gatz is the collection. So the Mela is, since the Atzilus is Gili, which is Chalkos Mashen can Atzilus. So shall ain't begeder Gili and lav mikol inlin midas your cloud. So all this tells us that the oil is ayin. The oil is insignificant. Mele, so that is pshat oil v'lahem yerida me'upon it. Yerida means it's not significant. Avo, okay, now he says the contrast. So the lashon tan is el atachlis el amaz atach. Ein b'shleim v'siliyoin mele lahem yerida el atachlis el amaz atach. So he says pshat here like this. In creation of our reality, the yesh, the separate being, yesh, and even with Tzias Dvarma. And the Shein of Chines Gili, Chines Ein, with Chines Metzias. So the yesh that's created, the Elamazah Tachten, is really a Metzias Dovo, not just Ein. So the Mele, it's different. He's going to go into a detour. The Mele, so the creation of the yesh is it's not you can't call it yerida. It's a different type of being. But now it's going to go into a whole long discussion that hagufa. Agam shebemes ein yadav klal atzmo yishkom tzirak eliki. I beemes the yesh is also not the real mitzias. Remember, so that we learned that in the Bekitz and the Maya before. And the Maya before it actually said, "I am Mashikosa b'da mitzvah shetishka." Remember, in page Kuf Ches, he has the question, why does it say yesh me'ayin? The yesh is also bottle. It's not really ayin. So he answers, הגם שבהם מסיים לדור כלל כמו לעצמו שקום תצטרך לדור כי בבאר אי אפשר לומר שמציאו סיוע עצמי. דאר אין עצם כנראה. When you get to the now it says the difference, now it's going to the difference between the Savas HaYesh and the Savas HaEr. The Be'er אי אפשר לומר שמציאו סיוע עצמי. Cannot say you cannot say that it's an essential being. The oil ain't etzem. The oil by definition is not etzem. Oil means expression, not being what you are. So that's number one. Gam ef shalem shekilo eine klal. At the same time, we cannot say that the oil is totally bottled. Kilo eine klal. Shari oil, because the entire being is being oil. Oil means something that expresses. Then brings in another source place and cities. It says the be'ha'oy rakeloi. So there's a diuk that says kula kamei keloi ship, like nothing, like ein oy. Cities says that there's a subtle difference between kula kamei keloi ship, like nothing, insignificant. And Einoid means nothing. There's nothing besides it. So he says the oil, the beetle of oil is only kilo. It's only kmoiloi, like nothing. But the etzem oil is something, because the whole point of oil is to express. Vayesh, mashenken yesh, metis hayesh, einay metzir, yesh doesn't have that thing. But emes einay metzir klala atzmi. There's no any being. any mitzias. Chol mitzias are רק עין הליקי חולק, כמו שכוסם כמחה. מכל מקום, on the one hand, יש אין mitzias כלל העצמי. It doesn't have any existence on its own. Chol mitzias are רק עין הליקי. His entire existence is, its source is in the עין הליקי, the godly energy, which is called עין. At the same time, the yesh, the reality that we know, the being, looks like something tangible. Not only that, the yesh looks like it doesn't need a source. It looks like it's independent. But together, we cannot say that it doesn't need a source. It's impossible for light to exist without the source of the light, which is the etzem. And the marshal that is, when we see oil, when we see light, it automatically tells us there must be a source of the light. In other words, the fact that this oil is Megala the Moyer is not some intellectual formula. It's obvious. That's the whole point of the oil. That's usually if you look about it from an intellectual, from an analytical perspective, so when you see a being, we also tell us there must be somebody created it. Because it's anything that's there, we say, where does it come from? What is its source? Like we say, me boy. Like Shmayesh Asma is a nearby galus, but that's the huge difference in the yesh and the moil, in the oil. In the yesh, it's not nearby galus. You don't see it obvious. When you see an object, it's not automatically obvious that someone created. Mashenk ba'oil. Again, what does it say? Adab. Adam is galus nigd over natsma. Like Mashas Seichel Mechayim. In other words, it's not obvious when you look at it that it's an expression of a Mahave, Just the only thing is, you seichel, you made an intellectual formula, calculation, analysis that forces you to come to the conclusion that somebody ain't somebody created. Mashenken minai weiter sagt da, Mashenken beoil, what sei chef schon ist mit dem Atmos scheint war ma. So again, it splits two parts. The number one, is a type of being, ain't it vama. It's not something tangible, so it can't create itself because it's not something that you can point to. Number two, in a near nigla b'sheyesh lamaka shemen nimshach mizgal. It breaks it into two parts. The general point that he's making here is that even and Yesh, both of them, in a way, tell us there must be a source, but in the earth, this is the essence of the earth. When you look at the earth, that's all you see. You see that this is an extension, expression of a mocker. It's part of its being. Schenken Yesh verkehrt. Yesh means it's its own independent being, but intellectually, when we analyze it, we come to the conclusion there must be a source. And because of that difference in the oil and the yesh, the oil is an direct expression of the yesh, of the etzem, of the source. Mashenk and the yesh is not direct. Lachem in the oil and the yodim esa etzem. Through the oil, we know the etzem. We know what the etzem, the tchunas. We know the qualities of the etzem. When we see light, we know where it came from. You see bright light, it came from a bright object. And when you see it's warm, it comes from a warm object. No, it's anything that's a direct expression of its essence. And he breaks it down that there is a level in the etzem that cannot expressed in the oil. There is something about the etzem that is never reached in the oil. But that level of the etzem, that's shaykh to the oil, that's we see it directly in the oil. But when you look at the yesh, even if you come to the conclusion that there must be a source, but you don't know whose source is. What is the reason? Now he tells us the reason, which we already, like I said, we learned in the previous time. I said it in one line, but here it develops. Why is it that the yesh has a different way of expressing its source? Ultimately, the yesh, the creation of our existence, our reality, that's really kodam hamachshav. That was the earliest and most deepest purpose of creation. The ultimate kavana, the ultimate purpose in creation of the Atlas Hamayim, of the Eibishter wanted, she wanted actually to create our reality. Because the yesh, because our being, because our mitzias expresses the ultimate purpose of what the ultimate intent, what the Eibishter wanted. So that lachein, this is the reason. So that that aspect of its source, its ultimate source, in the Kavanas Atzmas, expresses the kaviyachol, the tchuna of Atzmas. That what? Number one, it feels like a separate, independent being. Similar to the Yesh HaAmiti, that the Eibishter himself, his entire being comes from within himself. There's no outside cause that brought him into being. His Metzias comes from within himself. This is the reason that the Yesh HaNivo, the Yesh that we experience, our entire reality that feels independent because its source is Kavanas Atzmas. Okay, now you already jumps. So finish discussing this. Kavana nishlemes, but what is when you say Kavanas Atzmas? What is the Kavana? The Kavana has two parts. The Kavana is to create the Yesh. that's not the ultimate kavana. Kavana nishlam. But when is the kavana, the ultimate intent? Shlemayla nishlemet. When is it fulfilled? Shemamshich in b'chinas gila lekus lamata lisbar de'omet aftein. Okay, so we have. See, like I said, the lashon in Tanya is. In a tachlis hashal hadam is a dosen vadek vadek ein v'shalom es aliyenu hoyel v'lem yirida me'el pen of his bach tachlis and maz atachten. Why lama atachten? Why shekach ola birtzaynei? That's like you said here. The kavanah satzma shekach ola birtzaynei is bar. Lias nach asroch lefon of. 1 second. Kadis kach is it acha v'isapach hashachal inoyer. That's the lashon. In Tanya, yoyo in sobach makom achay shav sitacha shel kol olam aza kule b'yasar seis v'yasar reis v'isra in erm nachay shel me'arotza be'erm sel yenu shesham me'er shel edei levushim. That's already v'es tapanim alim mastirin. So these few lines in Tanya, this is how he develops it in our Maimah. Again, like I said, the second line on this page says v'oid. So there are really generally two ways to explain the lashon yirida. Number one was oil v'nem yirida means that these galus from essence spheres from etzem is a yirida. Number two, he says, but bichlal gila is not the intent. Gila is only an expression. It's not the etzem. The etzem, where we see the etzem, dafkan elamaz atachten, because it reflects the yesh. Now, I'll put up now on this sugi we just finished learning is gonna continue on a different language. So I'll put up online here. 1 second. There's a safer. There's a. If you look what I just put up, go it's in Periklam at the Vov, and Periklam at Vov and Tanya. Open up the page. You have to go to page. 1 second. You'll see it. I just sent it. It opens page top Samaches. You have to go to page. The page top. What page is it? Top of Ayin Aleph. You'll see in the left column it says he quotes the shtickle Tanya. Tachas ishtach zayim tzeinim shalem b'saliyenu olam merida b'pervisba. Tachta man tachten. It says yeshleim ha'kavana ze b'kama yifanim. So here it's a kit. This.
I'm sorry. Perek Lamed Vav or Lamed Zayin?
Yeah, Perek Lamed Vav. Page Tov Ayin Aleph. You see page Tov Ayin Aleph. So it has over here. It's a longer arichos. I don't know if I'll go into it today. I want to read through this entire thing together. We'll learn it together, but not now.
I have it.
Okay, so you see it says so in the bottom, in the next few pages here, it's a little gedreit even, that it's a kids of Bi'ur the Rebbe Rashab on this Tanya. So we have only by Ches. Now you see on top of the page by us it says how much cost of the Erden and Ches Shambo by Ifnacher. So in here we have a few pages from Tov Ayin Aleph till Tov Ayin or till Tov Ayin Vov, Tutaf Ein Vov, it's a like a kitz of all the biurim in the Rebbe Shad Maimorim. If you look in the Or 84 on page Taf Ein Vov, there's a list of sources where it's talking about, a lot of them. Nonches, Samachtes, Eter, in Beis Ein Vov, in Ches, Tafresh. So one of the sources in the Or 84 is our Maimon. Tafresh Ein Ches, Matkofi Beis Ein.
This is biur on which biur is this? The whole thing?
This is a biurim. This is a sefer that's still not printed. It's biurim, a likut of biurim of the Rabbeim in Tanya. And here,
so the one that they came out one perek memhe something like that.
Mem Aleph came out for
Mem Aleph.
for Pesach. Yeah.
Do they
So
have
here,
it for Sha'arei Chod Ve'emunah also? Or no.
I don't think it's done one yet. No. So here is a very nice kitz of all these pulpulim we just read now. It brings a lot of other sources other than what we. In other words, our Maimah is one of the main sources, but there's a lot of others. Okay, so maybe I don't know. Maybe one day when we'll devote to learn this to learn this. One second. Yeah. Okay. Let's go back.
You said it's not printed. You say so.
No, it's not printed yet. There's contrasting that you can get. It's not finished yet. It's still in the middle. All right.
So who put this together?
Some younger man. I mean, it's a mareches, a whole mareches.
So, but so that they corrected how they find all these sources?
How?
You know,
It's one of
it's amazing. You know, it's what you know where is what, and then of course you can research and the whole thing, but it's just amazing work.
Yeah, it is amazing work. Yeah, it's true. Okay, we'll discuss it another time. Okay, let's go back. I just want to show you what I want to look at.
This is
Right now, it's to what?
It's biurim al Tanya. This say so.
Beyond for the Rabbeim and Tanya, yeah. Okay, we'll go into it maybe another day. All right, let's continue learning our mind. Okay, so what did he say? Kavana nishlemes. You already. So first of all, the kavana elyoina is in the yesh hatachton. That's in the kavana atzmis. That's why the yesh is. That's why the yesh feels like mitzil b'fnei atzmi because it expresses atzmis. Kavana nishlemes. When we fulfill this kavana, when the nishlemes k'shemamshich b'chinas gilul alikus lamata, at least the kavana is not just there should be a yesh and that's it. It's a part of the process. There should be tachtein, there should be a dir b'tachtein. You know, Avayah Krishma v'Avayah Chod. See, in the Avayah of Krishma, what does it mean? Lias l'dir b'tachtein. Avayah Krishma Avayah Chod in the Avayah of Krishma. We're doing davening. We say Krishma. We say Shema Yisrael Chod. What does Echad mean? So it says in Zayah, Zaychad is Yichudei Lo. Bittul Yichudei Lo means battle in Tzius. Bittul Yichudei Lo means that the Yesh is bottle. Mitzius is bottle. The ain't a Pchinas Yesh. Pchinas Ein. So that's step one in davening. That's the first step in that. I mean, it's not the first step. There's steps before, but in this process of Krishma and Shemon Esrei, so Krishma is the Indian of Bittul Yichudei Lo. Ein Hakar b'Shemon Esrei Shem Boruch HaTavayeh. In Shemon Esrei we say Boruch HaTavayeh. What does Boruch mean? Shemamshich im Shem Havayeh Ba'olam. So that Havayeh is Nimshah Ba'olam. Shekosov v'emes Havayeh La'olam. That Hayos P'nus Hayesh Aniva P'nus Hayesh Amit. In other words, it's not just. So again, he brings into a very intense sort of very high level of what we call today consciousness. It's not just the bittul. Bittul is step one. Bittul means that you recognize that you're nothing. But then he says that the deeper thing, that recognition infuses the yesh, the mitzias. Both, it's nimshach. What's meant of? The yesh aniva itself, the independence, the feeling that you're independent, that itself is expressing the Yesh Amiti, the Ebershter's being. Shekein ir la'osid, shagash me'elakus kaneda. When are we actually going to experience it in a way that we can relate to? That's going to be la'osid lovey. La'osid lovey, that said, it's going to be these galas, in the Yesh Aniva, our Metzias will express the Yesh Amiti. Right now, we have to have, it's an intellectual formula, like you said earlier. Make a say, ain't davar is a make a cheshbon, we must say that the Yesh is a source, that the Eibishter created him. But the Yesh itself, the independence that we feel will be the Gashmis itself, the feeling, the feeling of independence, the feeling of the ego, that itself will be not your own ego, not your own independence. It's a likus. That will be the ultimate gili. But now we reach a similar state of being to avodah davening. When the first step is the rotze, the ichot of the law means the unity, the way it's in from above, the way the Eibishter's perspective. Everything is insignificant. B'meile, kasha ashoiv, v'nas shoiv, shov le'echad. I'm sorry. Shov le'echad. There is that the Lashon saying for Yitzir. Imot lipcha. If your heart is in a state of yearning, shuv le'echad, come back to echad. Shuv means, what does it mean in our context? Shemamshichem chinas in sof lamata, that the mamsh there sof back lamata. B'meila nas yesh anil v'nas yesh amiti, shenishna makavana asis kisla izbaut yom taftein. This is the expression of the ultimate kavana elyoino. They will intend that the tachtenim become a dira to the etzem. Means tachtenim itself, which means the yesh amiti, the yesh aniva itself, becomes the yesh amiti. Now he jumps back to the pasuk that he started in the beginning of the Maimon. In the earlier on page Kofit Beis, it says in the middle of the page, "To berekes ein Maimon azar pasuk bo hashemesh, v'zoch hashemesh bo hashemesh, l'mekayim yishav zayach l'shom." That's what it said in about the pasuk when they get to Chanukah. He says, "V'zeh v'mekayim yishav zayach l'shom." So this is the meaning. Remember, we had a question in the beginning of mine. Pasuk says, "V'zoch hashemesh," sun shines. Or bo hashemesh, and the shemesh is shekeya, which means the sun sets. And they said pshat shimsha ozel amayim. Remember that said shimsha ozel amayim. Isaiah said shimsha ozel amayim, that the sun reaches west. The Makam says pshat that the shimsha, that is Zoh, and Ma'ariv, that's the Shechina b'Ma'ariv. Shimsha b'Ma'ariv means Hamshach HaZamal. The question is, what is El Mekoymei? What Shemesh, the Shemesh sets. What does it say El Mekoymei? That's his really place when he sets. The Chayin Avona b'Shkiyos HaShalcham. The Chayin Le'Avona b'Shkiyos HaShalcham Hashaz Eina Zarachas Kim Memesh Azman Shalach Sas Gehod. In other words, how can we explain Ein Le'Avona? So, maybe there's a word missing here. Yeah, there's a mom. We missed the Marmokh on the bottom. That there's another mime of the Rebbe. I can remember the Mitzvah Mishtishkol Ametches. Tavshal Ametches. The Rebbe also developed our mime, the point in our mime. We'll take a look at it soon also. That v'zeh l'kem b'zreich shayv zareich l'sham l'cher in le'avono. What does it mean? L'kem shayv zareich. How can it say zareich? How can you say that in the shkia there's zareich? The shkia shel chamashad ain't a zareich. So how can we say at night the sun is under the
I'm sorry,
that's
what's that? Shoev Zoraya?
that's a lashon pasuk. El mekayme shoyev it yearns to come back to its space. It shines over there. So Lichayr says, what do you mean zereach? You can't say zereach. At night, the sun doesn't shine. Shows ein zerach. Ein le'avana b'shkiyot v'chama. The word shoyev makes no sense when we talk about the Ba Hashem, which is the shkia, which is the sun is not shining. So I say zereach. Shows ein zerach. In b'meshach azman shalachas tachas ga'or. At night, it's elachas tachas kada'or. V'zerach zachakar b'mizis. So what does it mean? It's a question. Rashi Pirish, Rashi Shekaz, B'Mayrav, Rashi says Pshat in that person. Rashi Shekaz, B'Mayrav, sun sets in the west, Ishayefes al Mekayim B'Mizach, yearns to come back to its space in the east. She's a Reches Sham. Aber Pashas ain't moving the Einim B'Shikos Shalachamos. So Rashi's Pshat is that's Pshat in Pasuk, he says, but still, the lashon of the pasuk is question is not clear because how can we say about the shkia that's the mekayim is zereya? How can you say the shkia? The shkia is the zericha. So that's like a deal to pasuk. So that is the remez what we just learned. That really the ultimate deeper pshat in the pasuk is the kavana b'shkiyos other than Dafka to the shkia, that is the ultimate zricha. Why? Or movan. Now the kavanas atzos b'savas hayesh dafka to the zbon dem. It's going back to we're not talking about. It's going back away from the simple pshat and bus. He's going to go into a long discussion that shkia really means in the we talk lamayla. Shkia means the helm. The Kaviyachol the Elam, the Tzimtzum, the creation of a yesh. That's really the shkia. So Ramele says the kavana, the b'shkiyot al zerachas. The shkia itself, that is the ultimate zricha of the etzem. Because, like we just said, the yesh aniva expresses the yesh amiti. Kavana says itself say yesh dak krisla izvar diam tachtein. But now he's gonna explain it better in the words of the pasuk. The creation of the low beings of our reality. He's going down now into a detailed explanation of the pasuk, how it fits what we just said. So he explains that the creation of reality is a result of the Helen ve'Esther of the Malchus to the Helen ve'Esther. Shezdeinu Bo Hashem shenishka v'nista oiro. Bo Hashem means shkia, the setting of the sun, which means that the oir Hashem, which is the oir of Malchus, is set, which means it's hidden. What the oil that reaches us is Urshel Tel, it's only a secondary type of oil. Dafka there, dafka to that, we have the ultimate zrich, the ultimate shining, because that is the ultimate kavanas atzmus. So the ultimate zricha is dafka in the shkia, dafka in the yashatach, when the oil is abelim, they're hidden, they're set. So that's meduik in the lashon. Zel mekayme shoyev, and it says hu shoyev. The lashon pasuk is mekayme shoyev zerech hu shom. Mekayme shoyev mokayim upchinas malchus. Mokayim
Why
What?
the yes is also Gilui?
Yesh is also Gilui. Where do you get it? No, Yesh is
Why
not.
can, yeah, yes and Evo.
Yesh Aniva is not Gilui. Gilui means expression. Yesh in the Yesh Aniva, the source is not expressed. It's hidden. It's you don't feel. You don't when you see a Yesh. You don't, like you said before. You don't see in the Yesh and the Oil. In the Oil, we see the Mar. The Yesh doesn't reflect its source. It's its own independent being. So that's now the creation of Yesh. That's to be the Helam Aniva, the Helam Abayre, Helam Koyach Abayre. Because if the Koyach Abayre is based Galus, the Yesh can't exist. So the whole point of Yesh, Nivra, its own creation, its own independent being, means is independent of its source, is its own being. That's the way I explained it.
But Ein Davar is a Satzme.
Yes, he said earlier the that's intellectual. You know, that's a cheshbon in our mind, a biseichel. But it's not obvious when you look at the yesh. The yesh doesn't express its source. The yesh itself doesn't express its source. The yesh is the opposite of gili. It's true that we can make a cheshbon. That's what he said earlier. In page Kuf Yudal, the whole thing. Where the lashon was intellectually we have to come to the conclusion that the yesh itself, like he said, what's the lashon? It says Adab beis ein the beis galus. Adab beis galus near gedov ne'atzman. When you look at the yesh itself, it seems like it's separate, independent being. It's the opposite of oil.
So just before you finished, if you have a chance to find out about the Irai law, remember we spoke about a couple of times that why Irai law needs it's through avoda, but Mashem can Ava Rabba is matana. Remember we said
yeah.
Ava Rabba is matana. So but the Irai law, which is higher than Ava Rabba, it's through it can be achieved through avoda. So if the previous stage is cannot be
okay. I'll try to find it today. All right, fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.